Again, today we're going to look at the Piecewise Component Chart, or PCC. Again, this is one of the prerequisites for your PDR. So as a reminder, D in PDR, we can say it's like the side. So there's three different components we looked at, and so the Piecewise Component Chart is the main focus for today. After this, we're going to go into the decision-making matrix for another video, and that'll eventually lead to your design choices. So how does this all work? So this is basically a tool that's going to weigh the different deciding factors for your DMM, as we kind of mentioned before. Now this is important. When you do it correctly, you'll have clear weighting values for each of your factors. So again, from last time, we had the overview of the prerequisite video. You're going to have this table look something like this, and we're going to go over this in more details. So the general rule of thumb is you want between 3 to 5 of these criteria. If you have more than 5, then the weights tend to become either really big or really small. So it's not very helpful. If you have less than 3, only like 1 or 2, then you don't have enough factors to make that decision. You can have what I call binary criterion. It's the idea that like something either has it or not. It's like a yes or no kind of thing. So example could be like, does your robot toy at the toy store, does it come with batteries? Yes or no? So that's an example of a binary criterion. Now, the important thing also to note is that there are some criteria that will have like the same values or answers or like some irrelevant metric or option. So it's kind of useless, doesn't help you really make a decision. So for example, if you have one that gives you like the same values, let's say you go to that toy store and you have different kinds of robot toys and they all come with batteries. So if you had a binary criteria there and you say, well, if we have batteries, then okay, but the answer is yes for everyone. So does it help you make a decision of which robot toy to buy? Not necessarily. They all give you, yes, we all have batteries, so it's not that helpful. You want some differences in those decisions. So let's look at a relevant options example. So if you're trying to make a decision about buying a remote controlled robot toy, then just ignore all the robot toys that aren't even remote controlled. So those aren't going to help you make a decision either. It's not helpful. And the most important part, if you forget anything else, is to always have quantitative metrics for each criterion. So let's look at some examples. So let's say you have a question, what should the criteria be for choosing to buy like a healthy burger? Okay, so let's say you're looking at different things like cholesterol, protein, carbohydrates, energy, sodium, cost, and like, is it fast food, yes or no? And then let's say, okay, let's say we like these, let's determine metrics for each of these. So cholesterol, we can measure this in milligrams, protein in grams, carbs in grams, energy in calories, cost in dollars, sodium in milligrams, and fast food is just yes or no. Now, because we want between 3 to 5, let's just pick 5. And so let's go with cholesterol, protein, carbs, energy, and cost. Okay, for this simple example. So how do we start? Well, first you create a table and just leave that top left entry blank. Then the next step you're going to do is you're going to reach each criterion twice in the first column and the first row there. Once you do that, then you're going to add 2 more columns on the right for total and weights. The next step, you're going to add a row at the bottom. You have right sums. You're going to sum the total and weights at the very end. And the very bottom right, this is going to be sum of the weights. Make sure this is 1. So when you add up all your weights, this should go to 1. The next part is the bottom entry, and then the one right next to the one you just did. This is going to be the total score. And then next, you're going to come up with your criterion, all those values here. Okay, so the way this works is everything on the diagonal, these are all the criterion measured against each other. So they all get 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to start from the row, you're going to go to each column. So you're going to ask, is cholesterol more important than cholesterol that's basically is asking the same thing? If they're weighed against each other, it's the same criterion, the answer is just 1 by default. Well, then you might say, is cholesterol more important than protein? In terms of a healthy burger, the answer would be, we probably say yes, we want low cholesterol. Is cholesterol more important than carbs? In terms of healthy burgers, we probably want lower cholesterol. It will probably say 1. And is cholesterol more important than energy? The answer again will say yes, 1. Is cholesterol more important than cost? Probably. So then we'll say 1. You repeat the same process for protein, carbs, energy, and cost. Then the next step you'll do You're going to sum all of these ones per row in the column total here. And then you're going to sum the totals for each. Now, secret tip is you want to organize all of these values here by the largest first. This is going to give you an upper triangular matrix. You can see I have all the ones in the upper right-hand side. Now, after you do that, you can assign weights either manually, or you can do what I like to do is you divide the total by each of these. So here the total is 15. So the weight here for cholesterol is going to be 5 divided by 15, which is 1/3. And so on. You keep on going for protein, carbs, energy, and cost. Make sure you sum all of these, and they should equal 1. Okay, and then just double check your math that you get 1. Check your totals, just double check everything. It's best to do this in Excel. We'll go over an example a little bit later in another video. All right, and thank you for listening. Good luck on your PCCs. Next time we'll look at DMMs.